sea-loving boy, people-shy. In a bustling coastal village named Maris, where the ocean sparkled like a sapphire and seagulls sang salty lullabies, lived a 10-year-old boy named Kai. Kai adored the sea he swam with the tide, collected shells shaped like crescent moons, and whispered secrets to the crabs. But Kai had a habit. He ignored the villagers. To him, people were noisy, complicated, and annoying. When fishermen struggled to haul nets, he'd shrug. When kids tripped on the docks, he'd laugh. Why bother, he'd say. The ocean never asks for help. One evening, as the sun bled orange into the horizon, Kai spotted something unusual, a dolphin stranded in a tide pool, its silver skin gashed by rocks. It thrashed, panicked. Kai froze. Help? But the dolphin's pain felt too big, too messy. Someone else will fix it, he muttered, turning away. That night, a storm raged. Thunder growled like an angry god, and the dolphin's cries haunted Kai's dreams. Chapter 2, The Old Fisherman's Lesson. The next morning, guilt gnawed at Kai. He ran to the tide pool, but the dolphin was gone. Instead, he found old man Mako, the village's lone fisherman, mending his nets. Mako's face was leathery from decades of sun, but his eyes were soft as sea foam. Saw the dolphin too, eh? Mako said, not looking up. She's alive barely. Took 4 of us to free her. Kai's cheeks burned. I didn't know what to do. Mako tied a knot slowly. Kindness ain't about knowing, it's about trying. He tossed Kai a rusty bucket. She's in the cove. Go, apologize. Chapter 3, The Dolphin's Gift. In the hidden cove, the dolphin floated listlessly, her wound stained red. Kai waded in, heart pounding. I'm sorry, he whispered, pouring fresh water over her skin. He stayed for hours, shielding her from the sun with kelp and singing the same lullabies he'd hummed to crabs. On the 3rd day, the dolphin nudged Kai's hand. Her wound had closed into a scar shaped like a star. Suddenly, her clicks morphed into words, not sounds, but feelings in Kai's mind. Thank you. You can talk, Kai gasped. All creatures can if you listen, she pulsed. You've earned a gift. One moonlit night, the sea will answer a question, but choose wisely, it will shape your heart. Chapter 4, The Selfish Wish. Kai raced home, bursting with ideas. Should I ask for treasure? To talk to sharks? When the full moon rose, he stood knee-deep in the waves. I want to be the greatest fisherman ever, he shouted. Make every net I cast overflow with fish. The sea roared. A wave hurled a glowing pearl at his feet. Your wish is granted, boomed a voice. The next day, Kai's net bulged with fish so many his boat nearly sank. But soon, villagers grew suspicious. Why do fish flee our nets for yours? They demanded. Even old man Mako frowned. The sea's not a pantry, Kai. It's a friend. Chapter 5, The Storm and the Choice. One night, the dolphin returned, her clicks urgent. A storm comes the worst in a century. Your village needs you. Kai scoffed. Why should I help them? Because you've forgotten, she hummed sadly. Kindness is a ripple. You stopped yours. As black clouds swallowed the moon, Kai panicked. His little sister Mira was on her first fishing trip. He raced to the docks where waves devoured boats. Help me, villagers screamed. Kai clutched the pearl. I wish to save them, undo my selfish wish. The pearl dissolved. Instantly, fish scattered back to the sea and the storm stilled. Villagers gaped as Kai dove into the waves, pulling children to safety. Even old man Mako nodded. Finally, he grinned. You're swimming with the tide. Chapter 6, The Ripple That Never Ends. After the storm, Kai changed. He helped mend boats, shared his catch, and taught kids to read the ocean's moods. The dolphin visited often, her scar glowing like a beacon. You asked the sea for greed, she pulsed, but chose love. That's the truest magic. Years later, Maris became known as the Kindness Cove. Travelers marveled at how villagers rescued stranded turtles, sang to sickly whales, and even welcomed grumpy old hermits like Mako. When asked why, they'd smile and point to Kai, now a young man weaving nets with his sister. It started with a boy who forgot to care, he'd say, and a dolphin who reminded him that even the smallest kindness can change the world.